Our country will not survive the corruption, the debt, the political self-serving interest, the lack of civility, and the biggest problem of all, the apathy. Our founders, as wise as they were, could never have imagined what the future held for our great nation. Have we reached a point that we cannot think for ourselves and use the same wisdom they had? I do not claim to be an expert in history, American history. I do claim our American future is at serious risk. It is my understanding that our founders intended for our nation to be made up of independent, sovereign states. It's my understanding they never intended for the federal government to interfere in matters that the individual states could do best for themselves. Good, you're still with me. The apathetic majority has now dropped off. The way I see it, change is coming. Not Obama change, but major, real change. Will it be for the better? Will we have any control over what will change? Two big things, the debt and the loss of the middle class. This will affect everyone. The middle class is playing monopoly with big oil companies, and they have hotels on Boardwalk and Park Place, and the middle class have houses with underwater mortgages. If we do not get a plan in place, we will be at the mercy of our debt holders and the money grabbers. How in the world can 300 million plus people ever agree on anything? If a solution is found, it will come from a grassroots organization or movement, not the totally gridlocked federal government. We may not get a desirable solution because change may come totally out of our control. Other than a total collapse and takeover of our government, I see three areas that we may control the changes that we need. First, a grassroots movement like the Tea Party or the Occupy movement. Second, the states will see it in their best interest to break away from the Union. Third, the revolution. The worst, the most likely. I have a lot to say, as do most of the non-apathetic citizens of our barely still great nation. This is my first time trying to speak out. I wonder if anyone is still listening at this point. One idea, I first expressed this idea at a crime seminar, national crime seminar, at the old Southwest High School about 30 years ago. My basic premise was that if the federal government was to abstain from any involvement in the state's effort to find solutions to their crime problems, we would have 50 little laboratories working to solve their own crime problems. If one state was successful, then other states could copy the solution if it would work for their state. One of my points was that what might work in one state might not be good for another state, pointing out that the federal solution, that one solution fits all, is not working, and that the states were handcuffed and not able to try any real ideas on their own. Well, I was shut down because I was told that the people's rights would not be protected if the federal government was not protecting them. I was furious at the idea that the state was not able to protect the rights of their own people. All the while, crime was harming citizens all across the nation. Well, 30 years later, I can say nothing came of that big national crime seminar. Attorney Janet Reno was present, as well as other national leaders. I still believe the best chance we have for saving our nation will be first to take the power away from the federal government and put it back where it was intended to be, in the independent and United States of America. Thank you for listening.